From Nevada Public Radio, this is the Daily Rundown. I'm Natalie Ott. Here are your top local stories for April 1st, 2026. Justices heard arguments this morning in a case that could result in a historic ruling. At issue is President Trump's challenge to constitutional provision long interpreted to guarantee American citizenship to every child born in the United States. Trump has long maintained that the Constitution does not guarantee birthright citizenship. So, on day one of his second term, he issued an executive order barring automatic citizenship for any baby born in the U.S. whose parents entered the country illegally or who were here legally on a temporary or even long-term visa. We are the only country in the world that does this with birthright, Trump said as he signed the executive order. And it's absolutely ridiculous. That's not true. There are nearly 33 countries, mainly in North and South America, that have birthright citizenship, including Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina. But Trump has long been determined to end this country's long-standing protection for birthright citizenship. Today, April 1st, is a pivotal day in that effort. Hear NPR's full coverage of the hearing at knpr.org. Republican Governor Joe Lombardo and Democratic Attorney General Aaron Ford appear virtually tied in this year's race for governor. A survey of 845 registered Nevada voters taken earlier this month, March 10th through the 13th, by Noble Predictive Insights, shows Lombardo with a 1-point lead over Ford, 39% to 38%. 17% of those participating in the poll were undecided, while 6% voiced support for a third-party candidate. A federal judge in Nevada has ruled against conservationists who wanted to stop a lithium-boron mine they said would harm an endangered wildflower. The ruling marks a major legal victory for the 11-square-mile Rhyolite Ridge lithium-boron mine project in Esmeralda County, located between Reno and Las Vegas. The land holds the largest lithium and boron deposit in the world outside of Turkey, said Bernard Rowe of Ioneer, the Australia-based company behind the project. U.S. District Judge Christina Silva ruled Friday that the federal government properly approved the project and sufficiently examined the impacts the project will have on the rare wildflower called Team's buckwheat, whose entire population grows within 10 acres of land in the project area. Environmental groups behind the lawsuit said they may appeal. Lithium is an essential component of electric vehicle batteries. Rhyolite Ridge would be Nevada's third lithium mine and one of the few mines that will process the materials on site, Rowe said. Rhyolite Ridge will create hundreds of new American jobs, reduce reliance on foreign materials and processing, and provide a domestic source of two critical minerals, Chad Yeftik, Vice President of Corporate Development and External Affairs at Ioneer, said in a statement. Renters are getting some relief as rental costs across the Mountain West are dropping. That's thanks in part to a building boom. At the same time, homeownership remains out of reach for many. The median price for a new lease is down 1.5% from a year ago across the country. But in some Mountain West states, the decline in costs to renters is greater, up to 5% in some places. Rob Warnock says rents are down about 5% year over year in Denver, around 4% to 5% in parts of Arizona, 2.5% in Salt Lake City, 3.5% in Las Vegas, and about 1% in Boise. While this is good news for renters, Warnock said rents are still higher than they were before the COVID-19 pandemic 6 years ago. See the full story by the Mountain West News Bureau's Yvette Fernandez at knpr.org. As early as Wednesday, April 1st at 3:24 p.m., an Orion capsule seated atop a 322-foot rocket will blast off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. If all goes according to plan, the capsule will carry 4 astronauts around the moon and back, sending humans farther from Earth than ever before. The mission will be the first launch in the Artemis moon program to include a crew. It follows the uncrewed Artemis I test flight in 2022, which sent an empty Orion capsule on a 3-week trip around the moon before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean. This time, the Artemis II astronauts will first orbit Earth to check out key systems on the spacecraft, then trace a figure-8 path around the moon and back. The entire journey is expected to take just under 10 days. Read the full story by KNPR's Amina Khan and Nell Greenfield Boyce at knpr.org. This has been the Daily Rundown, a production of Nevada Public Radio. To hear more or to support public radio in Southern Nevada, visit knpr.org.